It's that she go, no, she my flow. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's that.
So in the last class, we have discussed how to use methods within a class. So in a today's session, we are going to discuss what are the constructors, right? So before we see what is the syntax of creating a constructor and all, we have to discuss a few important points, like why we need a constructors exactly, right? So have a scenario in a mind. So means this is a real world scenario where you will be using a, so means where you will be writing a programs for these kind of applications, right? Say for example, you have a defined some class which I'll call it as a some test class, right? Within this particular test class, I have a few instance variables, right? I have few instance variables, something like this, few instance variable. Now, if my requirement is to put values for these particular instance variables for every object created, right? So be clear with the statements, whatever I have said. I'm saying like I have a few instance variables in a class. Now, if I want to put values for these particular instance variables, what are the different ways for me? I have to create a class, which is, let me say something as a demo class. So within this particular demo class, I need to write a public static void main. So within this particular void main, I have to create object of that particular test. Test obj is equal to new test, right? So now by taking this particular object, I have to give a values for each and every variable. That means each and every instance variable, right? For a, I have to give some value. For a b, I have to give some value. For a c, d, e, f. Similarly for the g also, right? So am I increasing the length of a code unnecessarily? Yes, obviously, because with respect to one object, if I want to put a values, I have to write these many number of lines, right? Increasing the length of a code. Yes. Am I decreasing the readability of the program? Yes, readability of the program also decrease, because if you have a more number of lines, then it will be obviously confusing for a person to analyze what exactly the program has written for, right? Are you understanding what I am explaining? Okay, if I am using the normal way of initializing, that means if I am using the normal approach of initializing my instance variables, it is going to increase the size of my program, and it is also going to increase it is also going to decrease the readability of the program, right? So what is another way? Can I introduce a function called something like a get data, right? So in the last class we have seen there was a one method written, something like void get data. So this particular get data was accepting arguments. I'm not writing a component signature, I'm writing like how many number of arguments you want to pass. You can pass those number of arguments, right? Done, right? So even in this approach, do I need to call that particular method explicitly, right? When compared to a previous approach, you are reducing a number of instructions. Yes, I agree, but you have to define a particular method. You have to define a particular method. Then you have to call that particular method to accept a values and a store in an instance variable. Hope my statements you are able to understand, because I'm using all the technical terms like instance variables, methods, everything. Shall we take some other example? If you are not able to analyze this particular example, some realistic kind of stuff. Yes. Okay. So let us consider this particular class name is a test itself, and my intention is to put a value something like this: int sn, string name, right? Double phone number. This information, there is a lot of information like string, date of birth, right? So these are the informations with respect to one student, right? So let me say this one as a class student, right? So with respect to one student, my interest is to gather this particular information, right? To read the values with respect to one student. I want to have a values with respect to all these parameters, like what is his USN, what's the name, what's the phone number, and what's the date of birth, right? So once I create object of this particular class, how to create object of this particular class? Student obj is equal to new student, right? So my requirement is with respect to each student, I have to store those different values, right? So how I need to write object dot USN is equal to some USN, right? Object dot his name is some name, right? So object dot his phone number is equal to some phone number. Similarly, object dot date of birth is equal to some date of birth, right? So what I'm saying is, if I'm doing this particular process, will it be a lengthy for me to write those many number of instructions? Yes, obviously it will be a lengthy for me to write those larger number of instructions. At the same time, it is going to reduce the readability of a program, right? So what I told is, instead of initializing directly within this particular class, which is called a student, you can have a method written something like this: void get data, right? Here I'll pass a int some USN, same names I'll take. I'll write a string name, right? So all the parameters, so consider that all the parameters whichever you want to hold, so everything has been written here. And you have to initialize those things separately. And the bottom in the main function, you have to call a method called obj.getData. Right? So now what happens is, it will create an object. It will call the method called a getData. So here with respect to getData, you need to pass all the values. All the values from the actual parameters will be copied to formal parameters. And within this particular logic, you need to assign those things to your instance variables. Right? So this is how we have done with respect to our last example also. Right? Clear with both the approaches of assigning a value? I am not explaining anything with respect to constructor as of now. I'm just giving you a brief introduction, brief description about whatever the things we have discussed in the last class.
Sir, can you tell me about this void get data?
This is just a user-defined method which is used to initialize the values for my instance variables. I'm not writing anything new. So this example we wrote with respect to last class also. We have used something like a get data, and we have given a values of int x and int y. Later we have said x will be assigned to instance variable called a length, and the y will be assigned to an instance variable called a width. This the example, same example.
Okay, sir, got it.
Sir,
Yeah.
get data is a variable name, right?
Get data is just a function name, which is a user-defined function name. You can give any name for that, no problem. We don't have any meaning specified. It's just means intention of writing that particular method is to assign a values to instance variable. So I just wrote it as a get data. Or you can write means you are putting a values into those instance variables. You can better write it as a put data also, no problem. That means putting some information. We have seen with respect to last classes, what I'm saying is, it is going to increase the number of lines, right? At the same time, it is going to decrease the readability of the program, right? So now what can be done? Which is a better way to do this particular process in a convenient way, right? So that particular method is nothing but constructors, right? So what constructors will do, right? So before we understand what constructors will do, we have to just analyze how exactly this particular statement will be executed, right? So what we are doing in this particular line, we are saying that with respect to student class, you are creating an object, right? A reference object is equal to new. That means we have already told, once you are defining a class, only blueprint, that means abstract, it means only blueprint, logical existence of a class will be there, and a memory will not be allocated, right? When does a memory will be allocated? When you are using a new keyword, that time memory will be allocated. Correct, memory has been allocated. Now what does this particular student of a bracket says? This particular student followed by a bracket says that with respect to class, there is a something called as a constructor. You please execute that particular constructor. What is the purpose of a constructor? The purpose of a constructor is to initialize the instance variables of the class, right? So be clear with my statement. What I'm saying is the purpose of a constructor, which is a constructor now, whatever a class name you wrote with respect to the brackets, this is nothing but a constructor, right? So what is the purpose of a constructor? The purpose of a constructor is to initialize the values of instance variables, right? We'll see a small example, then you will understand what exactly is the constructor. So let me close this particular part. I'm not interested to save. I have created one small class prototype, something like this, right? I have a class demo which is having a main method with it. Then I have something called as a class test, right? So within this particular class test, there will be some constructor defined by default, right? Let me write one small statement. What a statement? I wanted to create object of that particular class test. How to create object? Test obj is equal to new test. This is how you will be creating object, right? So now what I said, if you are executing this particular part, that means the class name followed by the brackets, constructor will be called within that particular class test, right? So now I will just show you the syntax, how to write a constructor, right? Syntax is simple. You need to write the same name as the class name. That means my class name is a test. That's it. This is the constructor, right? Constructor will have a same name as the class name, right? You just put these particular brackets saying that if no arguments are passed, you need to execute this particular constructor, right? I'll not write much of instructions here. System dot out dot println, no spelling mistake, println. I'll just write a small statement saying that from constructor, right? So don't forget what are the things we have said with respect to constructors. What are the things we have said? When you are creating an object, new keyword is used for a creating an object. That means physical existence, right? And a test followed by this particular bracket is nothing but a constructor which is used to initialize instance variables. Do you have any instance variables in the particular class? No instance variables written, right? What I'm doing is I'm just cross-checking whether a constructor will be called when it is creating object or not. Initializing instance variables is a secondary. My intention is when I'm creating object, I'm just cross-checking does a constructor will be called or not. Where is a constructor written? This is the constructor which has been written, right? How to write a constructor? You just specify whatever is the class name, just specify that particular name and I write it like a method and I write whatever instructions you want to put within that particular constructor, right? When does a constructor will execute? When you are creating object, right? So according to our statements, whatever we have said, can I run this program? Are there any errors? Do you want any repetition to be done? You want a repetition or yes, sir, repeat. Point number 1. Constructors will be executed when an object has been created. Constructors will be executed. Let me write the points so it will be clear for you. Constructors will be executed when object is created. This is the first point. What is the purpose of it? Purpose is to initialize the instance variables of class. This is its purpose, right? Are you calling a constructors explicitly? No, right? It will be executed implicitly when you are creating an object, right? So how to write a constructor? To write a constructor, you just specify name which is similar to class name. Name similar to class name, right? And use it as a method, right? So what I'm saying is how to create a constructor within a class. You just type the class name, right? Opening the brackets. So I'm saying like use this one as a similar to a method. So within a method, I'm just writing a statement. System dot out dot println from constructor. A small statement just to cross check whether that particular constructor has been called or not, right? So what we have said, constructor will be executed when an object is created and no need to call that particular thing explicitly, we said. I just wanted to cross check whether it will be called automatically or not while creating an object, right? So how to cross check? Let me create an object for that. Test obj is equal to new test, right? So what I have said, this how this particular statement will be executed. Test obj is a reference for this particular class test. So when you say new, physical existence will be created for this particular object. At the same time, it will be calling a constructor, right? So according to explanation, whatever I have said, it has to create an object for me. Along with that, it has to call the constructor, right? So what has been written in a constructor? You have written a system.out.println function. So means a statement, right? So what should be output if I'm running this particular program? What should be the answer if I'm executing this particular program now? What should be the answer if I'm executing that particular program now? cd desktop/java. Observe the things. I'm not calling that particular method. So means I said like a user constructor as a method, but I'm not calling that particular method. Even though will it work? Will it work even though if you are not calling that particular test method? It has to work because that is actually work of a constructor. Got? Am I able to execute a constructor during the process of creating object? Are we able to call the constructor, execute a constructor when we are creating an object, right? So if you are clear, then I will slightly modify this program for a better understanding of the concept. Let us cross check by creating some instance variables and just a cross check. Well, will it initialize those things or not, right? So let me write int x comma y. Are these the instance variables of that particular class? Yes, they are the instance variables because they have defined within a class declaration. Means right. So what I mean to say is when constructor has been called, here, so this is the area where a constructor will be in execution. So here let me put value of a x is equal to some 10, right, and value of a y is equal to some 20. Clear? In a printf, so means a println statement, let me just check whether it has initialized those values or not, right? X is colon percentage plus x plus double quotes y is colon double quote plus y. That means what I'm doing is, when I'm calling this particular constructor, that means whenever I'm creating an object, this particular set of instructions need to be executed. This is my purpose, right? So whenever I am creating an object, please listen to the statement carefully. What I'm saying is, whenever I am creating an object, this particular set of statements need to be executed, right? Shall we just cross check? Is it executing that particular part for me? Is it calling the instructions which are written in a constructor when an object has been created? See, the concept of a constructors, if you are reading from a textbook or if you are referring any particular video, it will be confusing because there are so many rules and regulations with respect to constructor. So if I take all the rules and regulations in a single program, then you will end up with so many questions in a mind, right? So that is the only intention why I'm taking from the basic and doing a different variations of a same program, right? So first program I have just shown you when the constructor will be called, right? I came to a conclusion and we have seen that when you are creating object, constructor will be called. That was the first conclusion. Second conclusion, when you are, so means, can we initialize a instance variables using a constructor? Yes, we can initialize a instance variables using a constructor. So that is, so means, this particular program is the evidence for that particular statement, right? So now if I'm creating a one more object, so that particular statement will be executed one more time, right? So now I'm creating one more object which is called as obj1, right? So here if I run the program once again, compile fine, yes, object has been called twice. So when an object has been called, so means when an object has been created twice, then obviously constructor has been executed twice. Can a constructor return any value? No, constructor cannot return any value. You cannot write any return type for a constructor. With respect to this particular example, we can slightly modify this one according to the requirement, whatever we have said, and then we will see constructor part. So means we will see then advanced version of the same program. Slight modifications. Shall we change a program a bit to understand it better? Yes. With respect to a constructors, keep one thing in mind. You will be just specifying its name and writing on common brackets. You will not be specifying any data type for that. You will not be writing something like a void attached, all those things. You will not be writing all those things. Just specify a class name followed by a common brackets. That will create a constructor for you. Right? So let us slightly modify this particular program with respect to the statement, whatever we have said. We have said something like this. I wanted, so now my intention is I want to put values for this particular instance variables, something like this. USN is equal to some 10 and name I want to give it as some ABC. I have to quote in a double quotes, that is a string constant, right? Then phone number. So phone number is equal to some random number. Then date of birth is equal to some date of birth. 0808, some information, right? So now I can easily print these particular values using a system.out.println statement, right? So I'll write something like this quickly, so just to cross check whether those things have been uh, initialized or not, right? Name plus double quote plus phone number plus double quotes plus DOP, right? Let me quickly cross check whether these things has been initialized or a constructor has been called or not. Compiled. Error with respect to phone number. Cannot find. I think a PHNO I have written, but initializing with a different name. Right. Compiler will be smart enough. It will be having all the differentiations declared. Right. Working fine, and it has initialized the values for me. Right. Clear. See, until now, whatever I was explaining, I was just explaining you when the constructor will be executed and is it going to initialize the instance variables or not. These are the only two conclusions which I am showing with respect to program. The first conclusion, when a constructor will be called. When a constructor will be called, it will be called when you are creating object, right? What it will do, so means what is the purpose of that one? It can be used to initialize instance variables. So this particular example will give me a clear so means explanation or a clear support to support of these particular statements whatever I have said. If you are clear with the example, quickly we will change this particular program, so means quickly change this particular set of instructions and see the constructor in a better way. Still the program is a lengthy itself, right? Instead of initializing in a main method, you are just initializing within a constructor, right? Even if you are creating 1,000 objects now, then also it will be, so means for all the 1,000 objects you will be assigning the same value itself, where the number of instructions have been reduced, right? What a maximum you are doing is you are here within a main method, you are not explicitly calling a method. That is the only one statement which you have reduced, right? So you have just avoided calling this particular method explicitly. Now it is calling it implicitly. Shall we modify this one to understand in a better fashion? Okay. So with respect to constructors, we have a few classifications, right? So what is that classification says? For the constructor, which is a constructor, this particular call. For a constructor call, if you are not passing any arguments, then it is called as zero argument constructor, right? Are we using a zero argument constructor now? Yes, we are using a zero argument constructor, not passing any values here, right? Now, if I am passing a values during a creation of an object, if I am passing a values during a creation of object, then it is called as parameterized constructor, right? So why it is called as a parameterized constructor? Because you are passing the parameters, right? So let me just use parameterized constructor to initialize these particular values, right? So now my intention is I don't want to initialize same values for all the objects. I don't want to initialize same values for all the objects. I wanted to have different values with respect to different objects, right? What I have to do? You create a parameterized constructor. What parameters I need to pass? Instead of initializing there, you give a values here. 10 double quote ABC, comma, phone number. Whatever is the phone number is here. Let me copy this particular phone number. Let me put the phone number here. Same values I wanted to initialize. right? How many number of arguments you are passing? Passing 4 arguments, right? When you are passing a 4 arguments, you have to specify those things because you are using it as a like a method itself, right? Declare a few values there. You give some USN. Instead of USN, I'll give just a U, right? String N, comma, double phone number, double P, right? Done. String D. U for USN, name N for a name, P for a phone number, and a D for date of birth, right? So now instead of initializing the values, I will say something like this. USN need to be occupied with a U value, name should be occupied with a N value, and phone number should be occupied with a P value, and this particular date of birth need to be occupied with a D value. Did I do the same work what I used to do before? The same work has been done. Now by using a arguments passed, that is parameterized constructor, and those parameters have been copied to this particular instance variables, right? So just to cross check whether these new values have been reflected or not, I'll just modify the phone number. Now the phone number is the 245. No confusion, right? Previous example we have taken 0 parameterized constructor, and now we have taken a 0 argument constructor. Now we are using parameterized constructor. Shall I run the program and cross check? Getting a new phone number itself, whatever you have given. Understood the program? Yes. Do you feel that this particular work can't we do using a normal methods? How many number of lines you are reducing? Can I say only one line? Right? Even though you are using a parameterized constructor, you are reducing only one line of code. Sir, we have to change USN by U in system.out.println. I don't want to change. I am printing the values of instance variables. Instance variable name is a USN name, phone number, DOB itself, right? These are actual parameters. Actual parameters has been copied to formal parameter. Now I am assigning formal parameter value to instance variables, right? So whatever is the content of an instance variable that I am printing. No need to change this particular things. Shall we quickly modify this particular program? What is my problem? I'll tell you. What is my intention is, I wanted to reduce number of lines. I wanted to make a code more readable, right? So what was the first point? Reduce the number of instructions. If I am doing this particular process using a normal method, how many number of lines I am increasing? I am decreasing. I am decreasing only one line. Which is that line? I am not calling that particular function explicitly. That is the only thing which I have not done. Right? So you are able to reduce only one line. For one line, do you require to have a constructor's concept and write the instructions in using a constructors itself? May not be, right? Just to reduce a one line, who will go with the constructors? Correct? Shall we see the use of a constructor now? Right. Now, let us assume that you are creating a class which is called as enquire. That means you have a requirement where you wanted to collect information, right? Few people might be searching which is a good college in Bangalore, right? So in that particular registration form, I might be asking a few things, like whoever is doing a query. I just wanted to know their ID, right? So instead of a USN, let us take some ID. So some ID I require, right? I wanted a name of that particular person, whoever is doing an enquire. I wanted a phone number of that particular person, whoever is doing an enquire. And I wanted a date of birth of a person, whoever is doing an enquire, right? So when it is a process of an enquire, can I assure that every time he gives all the values? Every time will he give all the values? Sometimes for making a ID as a mandatory, he might be giving a ID. So you cannot make a mandatory for all the fields. You cannot make a date of birth as a mandatory because it might be a personal matter. So means usually girls don't want to disclose their date of birth, so they don't want to fill that particular part, right? So in that case, you cannot put a value for a date of birth in an instance variable. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Right? So now I can have a one more constructor with the same name, right? So, but at this time, I don't want to give value for the last part, which is data. How many arguments you are passing now? 3 values you are passing. 3 values means I will initialize only 3 values. Initializing only 3 values, right? So just let me print whatever the values I have got, right? So when you are initializing only 3 values, can I create one more object here to call that particular constructor? In this case, I don't want to give a last value. Are you clear with the changes? Shall we cross check what are the things we have written? Yes. We have declared a class called enquire. So let me create object of enquire. Copied, not to do any spelling mistake. I'm creating object of an enquire class. Before it was a test, later I have modified it as an enquire. So I'm just replacing the test with the enquire because that is the class name now. Right? So this is the second object. Let me give a name as a obj1, right? So now this, I think no syntax errors with respect to this program. I have a class called enquire. So within that particular class called enquire, I have a 4 instance variables and a 2 different constructors. Please be clear with my statement. What I'm saying is 2 different instance variables, so means 2 different constructors, and one constructor is taking a 3 arguments and another constructor is taking a 4 arguments, right? So in the main method, I have created object of a class. One object has been created by passing of 4 values, right? When you are passing of 4 values, a constructor which accepts the 4 values will be called, right? When you are creating object by passing a 3 values, then a constructor which is having the 3 arguments will be called. I have to replace this. Constructor, so means class name now has been changed to enquire. So yes. Is this clear now? What should be the output then? See, with respect to object 1, we are passing a 4 arguments. So 4 arguments means this particular constructor will be called. So constructor which is accepting of 4 arguments will be called. So it will be initialized with the values and it will be printed. So means whatever the values have been copied, it will be printed. Yes. There is a one more object created by passing a 3 arguments, right? 3 arguments. But while printing, you are not printing only 3 values, you are printing a 4th value also. This is the program which we have written. Shall we execute and check what are the conclusions we have to, so means what is our expected output? Expected output should give me the, so means system.out.println statement with respect to 3 values. The last value I have to check what it will take if I'm not initializing any value and I'm trying to print. That is the first conclusion I have to check. We have changed it ID, right? Okay. Let it be ID. Here also let it be ID. Okay. Yes. Right. So here you can be any name you can, no problem. Let it be you itself, no problem. Okay. Shall we cross check what might be the output? Observe the last value. You have not given anything, but you are trying to print, so it has printed null for you. Right? Clear with the example. This program is clear. Again, I'm telling you, I'm taking each and every part from the basic and doing each and every modification step by step, not displaying you program directly. Right? Now, did we understood? So means whether we have reduced the number of instructions
Sir,
or yes.
sir, in here when we change the name of class inquire, what was the use of this inquire? I didn't get that.
I just gave an example. If you are filling some inquiry form, so I have taken a scenario of an inquiry form, so I just made it as an inquiry, class inquiry.
The brain will be same thing.
Yeah, so means the rest of our program remains the same. I just wanted to relate with respect to real world scenario. That means whenever you are writing some inquiry form, that means if you are designing in a web page, you have designed some inquiry form, right? So when it is an inquiry form, everybody will not be filling all the details. They might be filling a few details. They might be missing a few details, right? So if they are missing also, whatever the values they have entered, those things you have to save, right? So with respect to your requirement, you have to write those many number of different constructors, right? Say, there might be a possibility, see, totally you have a 4 parameters, right? So there is a one person who has given all the 4 values. There is a one more person who has given only 3 values. There might be a one more person who might be giving only 2 values. There might be another person who is giving only 1 value, right? So what you have to do is, with respect to all the possibilities, you have to write a different constructors, right? So this constructor is taking a 3 arguments, and this constructor is taking a 4 arguments. Now, if you want to have any constructor which takes only 2 arguments, you have to write that constructor, and you have to tell what has to be done if a person is passing only 2 values, right? You can write a constructor which takes only 1 argument, and you can specify what has to be done if a person is giving only 1 argument, right? And there can be an empty constructor which will tell what has to be done, which way the values need to be initialized if nothing has been passed from the user, right?
Okay.
Now,
Yes.
assume that I wanted to do this one using a normal method. If I want to do this one with a normal method, do I need to write a get data function those many times, and I have to cross check what is the number of arguments? Then after cross checking the number of arguments, I need to what I mean to say, I have to call the suitable method. I think it may not be imaginable to understand how this particular thing can be written using a normal methods, right? So this is the usage of a constructor, and how it will make us flexibly in initializing the values for instance variables, right? We will wind up a session now. So thanks for your time, and have a nice day.